Hallå allesammans och varmt välkomna till det 80:e avsnittet av 150 kilo podcast. Det är inte vilket avsnitt som helst, utan det är lite av ett jubileum eftersom att vi fyller 80. Men också speciellt eftersom att mellan oss två så finns alla ni som lyssnar. För vi befinner oss nämligen på två sidor av jordklotet. Den som sitter i Stockholm är Joakim Falk och den som sitter i Sydney är Magnus Sigler. Hur känns det?
Alltså, du hade inte kunnat sagt det bättre. Jag funderar på, oavsett om människor bor norr upp, alltså om dig, så är de fortfarande emellan oss. Fast runt andra sidan liksom.
Runt andra axeln, ja, precis.
Ja. Fy fan, det här är ju intergalaktiskt alltså. Det är alltså,
intergalaktiskt, vet du fan.
Ja, men vadå? Men man kan ju också säga att hela universum är emellan oss, beroende på vilken väg man tar liksom. Alltså, vänta du. Jag måste bara få supa in det här lite, för att alltså det här känns verkligen som en milestone i den här podden. Alltså, vi firar 80 år. Vi blev plötsligt en global podd. Alltså, jag tror nästan, om jag ska vara helt ärlig, alltså helt och hållet ärlig, så tror jag nästan att det är dags igen att plocka fram myntet och singla slant om språk. För att nu kan vi expandera potentiellt i Australien.
Ja, men jag tänker ju också att när man byter språk så måste man också byta samtalsämnen på ett sätt.
Ja, så man inte blir en Filip och Fredrik.
Nej, för att de gör väl det också. De bråkar väl med den konflikten hela tiden.
Ja.
Att de droppar referenser, alltså svenska referenser som någon internationell lyssning skulle uppfatta liksom. Och man måste ju vara väldigt mycket mer liksom bredare och hitta saker som funkar för en global publik.
Ja, men jag förstår vad du menar, men jag känner ju lite att så här, alltså till skillnad från Filip och Fredrik så är ju inte vi värsta referensdropparna. Och till skillnad från Filip och Fredrik så är ju inte vi heller alltså vi är ju inga sådana kändisprofiler, utan vi pratar ju om oss, våra känslor, våran relation mot omvärlden och våran tillvaro i samvaron. Eller hur man säger. Kan man säga
våran
så?
Tillvaro i samvaron. Okej, hur hade du sagt våran tillvaro i samvaron på engelska?
Let me give it a try. Our togetherness in holiness, höll jag på att säga. Vad blir det? Vi får träna lite på det där. Men alltså, Joakim, alltså så här, helt ärligt, jag vet att vi inte pratade om det här innan, och det var exakt samma sak senast vi singlade slant. Men alltså jag frågar dig helt öppet här och nu. Är du redo att singla slanten? Problemet är ju lite, beroende på vem som singlar slanten, så finns det ju ett moment av tillit vi måste ge varandra här. Ja. Eftersom ingen av oss kommer 100% om vi inte slår på kameran, såklart, se åt vilket håll vi inte hamnar. Ja, du får säga nej, alltså vi kan ju hålla svenska publiken.
Nej, men vadå, vill du att vi gör en podd på engelska? Jag tror inte att det kommer bli bra.
Alltså, så här, jag känner att nu när vi ändå håller på att bryta ny mark och nya kontinenter och nya tidszoner, så varför inte gå all in liksom? Varför stoppa där? Varför kan vi inte bara köra ett avsnitt på engelska och sen kan jag sprida det bara den här veckan bland alla mina nyfunna vänner här i Australien? Se om de gillar det, så kanske eventuellt, beroende på en demokratisk omröstning. Och grejen är, det bästa är ju att jag kan ju säga att vi är ju rikskända i Sverige. Ni måste lyssna på den här Australien. Vi har precis bytt språk för eran skull. Vi har över 100 000 lyssnare i Sverige. Det är ingen som bara, nej men du väntar nu. Du måste ju se lite catch me if you can momentet här. Jag kan ju säga precis vad jag vill om den här podden. Och våra befintliga lyssnare är liksom med på kuppen, om du förstår vad jag menar. Du låter tveksam, och jag tänker inte pusha dig om du inte är sugen. Men jag tänker att ett försök Eller vi kan testa ett segment. Och sen så får vi liksom utvärdera i nästa segment om det var värt.
Ja, okej.
Är du med?
Men det är ju... ja, okej. Ja.
Alltså, vi testar. Vi börjar det här sköna... Let's open this easygoing like starting segment in English. And I think we'll get into it. And whenever we feel like switching words, we're free to do that. Because at the moment we still just got Swedish listeners, right?
All right. So what is it you want to talk about in English then?
All right, okay. First of all, I don't know. Just to catch our English speakers up, this is a crazy moment in 150 Kilo podcast lifetime. We're going international. We're switching language for the first time, and I'm super excited. How are you excited?
Okay, let's say hello to the rest of the world then.
Hello, rest of the world.
My name is Joakim Falk, and I'm a Swedish guy, 23 years old, working with TV production and stuff like that. And Magnus is 1 year older than me, working as a fucking reklamare.
Okay, this is awesome. We're actually teaching our new listeners Swedish, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So a fucking reklamare basically means a fucking ad guy, like an advertising guy.
Exactly, madman.
Madman, yeah. I think who's the maddest of us two?
You're the most madman, but maybe I'm madder in some ways. I don't know.
I think you're more crazy and I'm more mad, maybe.
Okay, yeah.
You like that?
That's right.
Because I would never be crazy enough to like jump off a cliff when I'm skiing. But you do that like for breakfast.
Which I would do in like 3 days. And I'm so fucking excited.
Yeah, man.
I've already left Sweden's snow for the snow in the Alps, like mentally, so yeah, that's awesome.
We need to get back on this theme a bit later in the podcast, but just for you guys to know, I just arrived in Sydney. So if you are listening and I've met you like in a pub today or another day, then hey again, and thank you for last night or whatever.
But what is the release date for Sydney time? The release date is Sundays at midnight. In Sweden, so that's like
10 o'clock in the morning on Sunday.
10 o'clock in the morning, yeah. That's
awesome.
A good time.
Yeah, that's awesome. You hear my Australian awesome?
Yeah, I heard that. I wouldn't say something if you wouldn't, but it's really... no, I don't know if I like it though.
No. I think you'll have to get used to it because I will gradually slip into some Australian accent, you know. No, that was like I'm mixing it all up.
That was Irish.
Yeah. So for you,
that was your Irish genes.
Yeah. So my genes. It's too hot to wear jeans here, but I'm Irish. I'm genetically how do you say? I'm half Irish, half German. I've lived in Sweden most of my life, and I came here for one reason only, which is my internship. But I'm just my first day, I suddenly got more than one reason to stay here for a longer time than I expected.
You fell in love, Magnus.
Yeah.
With who?
No. Not. I didn't fall in love with a person yet. Although I'd love to get back on that theme further on. I mean, seriously, for me, speaking English, I just have to reflect real quickly on this. I mean, my studies have been in English, like the last 1.5 years. I've been at a school called Hyper Island, and that has been awesome. But how does it feel for you? Is it still a bit weird, awkward?
No, I'm pretty comfortable speaking English. I do it almost every day with someone. But it is a little bit harder to express yourself to the 100% potential you have, because it's not my brain is functioning in English most of the time, even when I speak Swedish. Because plenty of times I just think in English. I don't know why.
That's weird.
I might be because I want to
That's because you're crazy.
Living because I want to live outside Sweden, but maybe because I'm crazy. But the thing is, with the vocabulary, it is a little bit harder because it's not as developed as my Swedish one.
Yeah.
So it's a good like experiment, but I would like to have an international podcast speaking English, but I don't know if it's this forum.
No, yeah. Well, I mean, that's
cool. Or do you think we should go this way all the way?
Actually, because I won't have the same contact with the people back home in Sweden as I've had previously. So I think for me to be able to sell in this podcast or to be able to talk about the podcast to people, I think I almost would have to have this podcast in English. However, I understand your point with this not necessarily being the forum for it. But on the other hand, I mean, on the one hand, it's like the podcast initially was started for us to keep in touch, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And in that sense, I think English isn't right. On the other hand, though, I feel that a situation that we had when I was in Karlskrona, which is south of Sweden, whenever I started Hyper Island, I moved to Karlskrona, and that's why we started this podcast, to kind of keep in touch. A situation that arose when we recorded in that distance was that we only spoke like once a week. And it was kind of only because of the podcast. And
exactly.
The feeling I get kind of like that could be interesting with doing it this way is like switching on and off between recording and when we talk privately. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think like after we've recorded, I think definitely we should speak Swedish, because otherwise it would probably be weird. But that would become our like private time. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I know. I understand. And I think it's quite good. I think it would be awkward for me to edit this, hearing myself speak English, because I'm comfortable with hearing my own voice, but I don't think I'm comfortable with hearing my own voice speaking English, because it's nothing harder for a Swedish person to hear another Swedish person speak English.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Because it's so fucking awkward all the time.
Yeah.
Swedish people hate other Swedish people speaking English.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, that's a good point.
It's okay to do it this time and feel how it is editing and hear the response from people on Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that. But maybe after that we should take
reflection,
a catch up, and see a reflection and see what's really going on.
I think that's a good deal, and I think we really need to do a shout out or like get some really important response from our listeners. Like,
yeah, of course.
I mean, every single one of you who's listening to this, I really hope, like, whether we've ever tweeted or Instagrammed or Facebooked ever, please, if you're listening to this and if you think this podcast is important to you or to anybody, then please do write to us or express your opinion, because maybe if you don't like the English, you'll stop listening, and that would be heartbreaking for us, of course. And on the other hand, if you do like it and you would like to like connect in some way to the other side of the globe with me or with other listeners here, then maybe English is the right road, you see? So, I don't know, just tweet us or whatever, because we're really interested to hear what you're saying. And on the other side also, I was thinking, of course it's awkward to hear yourself speak English, and I think for me it would be really awkward as well, because I'm still quite Swenglish-y, and which is, for you Australian guys, Swedish and English. You probably got that, sorry. But I think basically just practice makes perfect, and maybe we can even it would be cool if I suddenly get this really awesome Australian accent and you get this super American or British or whatever. We can just fake it until we make it.
I don't know what accent I have, actually.
Okay.
I think I have a blend of all like American or British and Irish. I think I have a fucking mix of everything.
Yeah, but I think you're more. I at least believe that in Sweden we learn a lot more American English than we learn British, or definitely not Australian.
But our school system is based on the British system, so or the British English.
Yeah, but the written language.
We learn so much American. Yeah, but we learn so much American English by reading text and watching movies. So.
Yeah. I think we can hit the road with this podcast, and let's see where this takes us. All right, guys, we had a little reflection in that break. We decided to go for it just for this episode and see your reactions, and then go with flow, because that's kind of the feeling I get down here in Australia. Everybody just goes with the flow, right? I mean,
yeah, of course.
I hate to be prejudiced towards Australians, but almost like seriously, every single preconception I've had of Australians when traveling before in Europe and so on has just been fulfilled by, I mean, the people I've met here so far, this first day. I mean, people being laid back, taking it easy, awesome people, just, talking to everybody, everywhere, nice people. I mean...
Do they shower, though?
I haven't actually got that close to people yet.
Because the preconception I have is that their hair is more washed by the seawater, so it's the salt water makes it like frizzy, or I think it's a great look, but it feels like all the people live out of the water more than they live out of the land.
I'm sure that's the way in like Melbourne or like more north, but here in Sydney there's not that much. I mean, there are beaches, but it's not like you go bathing all the time. At least that, I mean almost everything I'm going to say about Australia in this episode at least will be based on one day being here.
It's funny to hear your preconceptions and how they conflict with the reality, and I can fill in with mine and see how the difference really is, because I've never been to Sydney or Australia at all, so I mean it's just great to get an insight from you.
I just hope I don't like paint this place up like in your head as like being heaven, because I've done that mistake before about Karlskrona, where I used to live, because my brother, he used to live in New Zealand, and then he moved on to Japan, and then he kind of felt like coming back to Sweden, and I just really made Karlskrona like through this podcast seem like heaven on earth. And then he like came there in the middle of the winter, and like seriously in the middle of the winter in Karlskrona,
and he saw it for which shithole it was.
Yes, precisely. I think he even felt a bit fooled by me, that I mean I had reasons to think that it was the best place on earth, but that was more because of the school I went to and how awesome everything was. But I don't want to do the same mistake with you, like making this place seem so beautiful and awesome. I mean, it is. It really, really is. But I hope you someday come down here and just experience it for yourself, because it's just amazing. It's wow.
Yeah, I really want to go and see you. Sometimes in this 6 months you're going to be away, or if it's longer.
Yeah.
But how was the trip? It's like 36 hours on the road. You must be exhausted.
Yeah, I mean, I think the best way to tell the story of me ending up here is just backing up a little bit before I went down. So everybody's with on the train, because I mean our last episode was on the last Wednesday, which was the same day as my like goodbye party. Yeah, you were there, and I mean we recorded the episode just before we went, and I mean it was a great.
And you were late to your own fucking party.
Yeah, like 1.5 hours. Yeah,
and for all of you that doesn't know Magnus, that's Magnus in a nutshell.
Being late? No.
No,
I think
being late to your own thing.
yeah. Okay. That's me. Me.
Where you can control the time and the time frame.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to be here, I want to see those people, I want to do this, I want to eat this.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, come on, let's take an Uber cab and let's do this before. And oh, you're waiting. Oh yeah, we're getting there in like 10 minutes.
And like 40 minutes later I show up. But seriously, I think for me that's more of to get to a bit of a deeper reason why that is me is maybe I think it can have to do with like self-image or self-confidence thing. Like, if I know that people are waiting for me, that kind of boosts me a bit. You see what I mean?
No, but it boosts you so you don't want to go, because when they want you to be there, then you feel almighty, or
that is the funny thing, that feeling was totally crushed when I arrived. You know why? Because when I arrived, people were calling me and I felt like, oh shit, they're waiting for me, that's awesome. And then when I came there were like 2 people sitting there. And I was like, oh, is this my goodbye party? Because the same thing happened when I went to Karlskrona. Like, none of my friends showed up, basically, but all of my ex-girlfriend's friends showed up. So it was so... I mean, seriously, that might be the most tragic situation. But I mean, yeah, just laugh. But I mean, the nice thing about it was that it was such a nice evening anyway, because people were dropping in, so at the most we were maybe 10, 15 maximum. But there were never more than that, because people came, dropped in and then dropped off, so it was a really nice balance for me to be able to, let's say, handle the amount of people, for me to be able to speak to everybody and for everybody to feel included, and
yeah, of course, everybody felt very seen by you, I think.
You think so?
It was always you in the center, but it was everybody was talking and having a great time.
Yeah,
and it felt like you could be there for all your guests and speak to them and why and explain why you would miss them. So it was a really great time, and
I think so too.
It was good.
I'm not sure if this really belongs to this segment, but I just need to tell you how fucked up my week before I left was, in really short. I mean, I was like, in Swedish you say hemsläp. It's like, it means sort of being
a one-night stand.
A one-night stand, yeah, exactly. And another word for it is bortamatch, which is it's playing the football game on the, like, not on the
opponent's court.
Yeah, exactly. So I had, seriously, and I'm not kidding, 3 or 4 bortamatcher that week, but none of them were real one-night stands. In terms of, I didn't get laid one single time.
So fucking frustrating for you.
Okay, yes, thank you for understanding, and I feel myself in this frustration, but I need to just explain. The first time, person A had a boyfriend. Person B also had a boyfriend. And the night of my farewell party, this was really weird, because she did not have a boyfriend, but she was Christian. And
she was married to God.
Exactly.
So she had a boyfriend.
Yeah.
But not a real one.
All right. So the frustration was built up to almost maximum. And a night or two later, I was out on Bench, a nightclub, and I ended up in a kind of McDonald's, a Swedish version of McDonald's, Max, and I was sitting opposite this awesome girl. I loved her. I mean, I seriously thought she might be one of the coolest girls I've ever met. However, it would be what I would later find out, not really a girl. No, she wasn't a boy. Take it easy. she was rather a woman, and she turned out to be 41 years old, which, I mean, that per se isn't the problem. But whenever we took a ride home to her place, she turned out to live in a retirement home. Well, I mean, it wasn't just retirement apartments or whatever you'd call it, but it was like student apartments as well and so on. So it wasn't that crazy. But the craziest...
But she was 41. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. So maybe it was a retirement home or whatever, but whatever. Early retirement. But the thing was, and this might be the craziest thing I have witnessed, when we were about to take the elevator, she pressed the button. And I'm not lying. This is a true story. And I swear to whatever that I'm not making this up. The elevator opened. Have I told you this, actually? What happened was that whenever she pressed the button for the elevator, the door opens. And inside of this elevator, my jaw hasn't been closer to the ground ever, was a 80-year-old man... naked, like totally naked, sitting on his walking aid.
Just staring at you.
No, he was like, like, seriously, can you imagine the situation? It was like 6 o'clock in the morning. The elevator opens and a fucking naked 80-year-old, like, I don't know if he was a pervert or why the fuck he was in this elevator naked and going,
Can you make that sound again?
But he kept going on. It wasn't just once. It was like, like, seriously. And he was lost in his mind, and I don't know for how many hours he'd been in this elevator naked, but I went from shock to total, like, couldn't hold myself from laughter to, like, I don't know, it was just...
Didn't you fucking panic and
Yeah,
ran?
Of course I did. The panic was, like, the most, like, dominant feeling, because, I mean, seriously. So, yeah. But so whenever we came into her apartment,
but you didn't run?
No, I should have, because whenever I came into the apartment, I was in shock, and I went into the toilet and messaged like half my friends, just like, please call me, give me the SOS call. This is an SOS call, please, So yeah, that, you see, I actually did not get laid before I went to Australia.
Now you're fucking desperate. So
yeah.
All girls in Australia, this is a big warning sign for you.
Yeah.
We have a crazy German, Irish Swede running wild in Sydney.
Yes. Okay. Let's just say a really charming Irish-looking Swede who's single, and I've got a nice job, nice apartment.
This is not your fucking match.
So 32 hours later, via Dubai and Bangkok, I even got a Tinder match in Bangkok at the airport. So I literally came to Sydney today, which is like, I've had one of the best days in weeks.
It's awesome that the first thing you do while getting into the other side of the fucking world is calling me to record a podcast.
Yeah. But do you actually remember the moment I landed? I gave you a call, but you were like sleeping?
Yeah, you did, at like 5 o'clock in the fucking morning, and I was sleeping.
No. It was 12 o'clock at night for you.
Oh, it was 12.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I was so
dazed. Yeah.
Dazed, yeah. And like my girlfriend Nina, she's like laying beside me, like, was that Magnus? And I'm like, yeah, he's out of his fucking mind.
It was a sign of love, man.
you know?
Yeah, because you called me on FaceTime, and when you call someone on FaceTime, the fucking speakers is plugged in, so you were about to wake up the whole house.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay, I'd love to tell you everything that's happened today, but it's been such a packed day today. I think I'll just run it through real briefly, so not to bore you, because it's been exciting to me, but it's probably real boring for you. No, but seriously,
that's good to start the segment up with that. Like, this is probably gonna be boring.
Yeah, but then it just can go upwards, right? I like lower the expectations. No, but seriously. So,
but I really want to know what you've fucking been up to this last 12 hours or so that you've been in Sydney.
Yeah, it's already 16 hours. It's 1 o'clock at night now. So no, but so what happened? Okay. I went straight to my friend's office. An old colleague of mine from my summer internship at us2 in Malmö. We took a coffee, and she gave me keys to her old apartment. So I got this beautiful apartment for a week, and I mean, I just had the greatest flow there, because like the moment I bought the ticket, I just wrote to her, I'm coming on Thursday, and she was like, hey, I got an apartment for you. So yeah, I mean, I couldn't have had more luck. And then, yeah, I came over here. I met these awesome roommates, and, I'm happy about that. And then I went out in town, and I just plugged in. First I bought like a telephone card, Optus. I mean, hello, our new sponsor. Yeah, well, I just plugged in the headphones and got like Google Maps, and just started walking. And I walked like basically most of the day around Sydney, and I ended up at Vapiano. And for you Australians, you don't know Vapiano, it's an Italian fast food restaurant. There's just one on York Street. I think you should go there. They do amazing Italian food, a lot of good pasta.
Is it Swedish?
No, it's actually German. It's German.
It's German.
Yeah, it's a German franchise.
And we have plenty of restaurants in Sweden, and Magnus has actually worked as a chef there.
Precisely.
That's why he loved it so much.
Yeah, yeah. But it turned out an old colleague of mine up in Stockholm was working there.
Okay.
So I met up with her there, and first thing she did was hook me up with like extra job there. So
nice.
Yeah, I mean, now I can just get, and they pay quite well compared to Sweden. And so I might, like, if you want to come by York Street, just come into Vapiano, and I might give you a good price.
So one more new sponsor then.
Yeah, Vapiano. Shi Vapiano de something. Vapiano means take it easy, so that's what I'm gonna do.
Oh, so that's good for Australian people.
Yeah,
they really need to take it more easy.
Yeah. Yeah, as if. Yeah, and from there, what happened? I just walked by this sign which said, "Hey presto, magic studio."
Okay.
And yeah, I walked in, and I've been doing magic since I was 10 years old. It was so weird because, we don't have that many magic shops in Sweden, and walking into a magic shop, it just brings back like these childhood memories,
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, like going to Magic Weekend one in October every year, going around to the magic dealers, and
it smells very special.
It's like plastic,
new magic trick. It's plastic, and it's this powder you have to don't get your shoes wet, or it's not.
Like dry powder or something.
Yeah, exactly, dry powder, and everything smells like this. It's not a great smell, but it's so special because it is our childhood. And for you don't know, me and Magnus got to know each other through the magic. Actually. Yeah. From the start. And I quit, we both quit, but you still do magic at parties if somebody asks you.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. So, I mean, straight away I just got so inspired, and I even bought a really cool magic trick, and I was there for maybe like 1-2 hours just standing talking, showing some cool tricks, and like here in Australia, people like big magicians, they never come down here because it's it's so far off. They were, I mean, I seriously saw DVDs from friends of ours, Johan Ståhl, sleeveless sleeving.
Cool.
You know, it was just like, and they were so impressed that I know Tom Stone, Leonard Green, all of these guys, and they were like, "Wow, how do you know these people?"
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then, you know, after being in the shop for like 5-10 minutes, this 15-year-old boy comes in. He's like really nervous. He's there with like his stepdad, I think.
Yeah.
And he starts looking at the magic I'm doing. And yeah, well, we turn around to him, like the shop owner and me, or the girl working there, like ask him, like, do you do magic? Like, are you up for showing us something? And he was like, yeah, you know, like really nervous, like, I'm not prepared, you know, but he had like his pocket stuffed with magic tricks, you know. And
that's so awesome. It's so nerdy, but it's so awesome.
Yeah, I know. And I just saw myself so much in him, because like he got so nervous when we asked him, and he totally blanked out. And you know, we had to like encourage him, you know, like, come on, dude, just go ahead. You know, we're just here for we're not a real audience because we're magicians, but just go ahead. And then, you know, he started doing stuff, and I really saw the exact same thing why I went into magic, why he had gone into magic recently. It was, you know, and we've talked about this in a really early episode, but it's about this whole thing of like, instead of like putting something you do in front of yourself, so you get praise for not who you are, but for what you do.
And what you can do.
Yeah, exactly. And I think this is a big problem in society, that we're not judged or met by who we are, but rather for what we do. And you know, it defines us in a way, what we do. I mean, like all these people I've met today, like graphic designers, magicians, chef cooks, whatever, they're kind of defined by what they do, and that becomes their identity. And sooner or later, if you don't do this like India trip or go to Hyper Island or whatever it is you have to do to kind of find yourself, you will end up kind of being trapped in that facade, kind of who you are. You know, I like the quote of Patrick Bateman in American Psycho. I know you can recite it, so bring
Which
it on.
One?
Well, the opening monologue in American Psycho.
I know the whole script.
Yeah, which is crazy, which makes you a bit of a Swedish psycho, but but can't you just, I mean, because it's just when he's peeling off this mask in front of the mirror.
He says there is an idea of a Patrick Bateman, some kind of abstraction, but there is no real me, only an entity, something illusory. Though I can hide my cold gaze, and you can shake my hand and feel flesh ripping yours, and maybe you can even sense our lifestyles are probably comparable. I simply am not there.
Dude, you have to put on the music in the background from that.
I mean, of course, that is a great monologue.
Yeah, it is. It's a great script.
But so you see what I mean with this kid, you know, sort of shaping this identity or entity rather of himself. And
yeah, of course, and the movie is about that. It's like he feels he's a person, but he's doing the other stuff, all his work on Wall Street and all the dinners and stuff like that, just because that's expected of him from the society, and that's who they think he is.
Yeah. But I mean, so basically what I'm saying is that I potentially met our next, not American, but Australian psycho today in the magic shop.
But when you walked in that store for hours, didn't you feel, because I remember when I was in London, like when I was 13, I think, I was at Devonport's magic shop. Mm-hmm. Like I could walk around there for hours and hours and just...
It's like in the secret underground station, and it's like almost platform 3/4, but like...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like you can walk around there, and it's just a small room, but it's packed with all these magic gimmicks and stuff, and I just asked all the the people that work there, that if they could show me something, and the kicks that get you into magic. It's like when you get that feeling of being fooled by magic, it's awesome. And when you give that feeling to other people, that's why you want to do it. But I also feel that kick you get when you can do something they don't understand. That's also what's wrong with the magic business, because if you want to do it professionally, you stand on a stage saying, look at me, I can show you stuff that you won't understand.
Yeah, but I think
that's not a great guy. That's not a good person saying, look at me, I can do something you can't. Fuck you.
Yeah, but I think that's a bit that's where we differ in opinion about like what magic is, because I mean, to me, experiencing magic is like it basically is that feeling when you were a kid with big eyes in this magical place, and it's this wow experience, that you've never seen anything like it, and it's like going into Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and that whole marvelous world. To me, it's not about. That's where I try to differ myself from this 15-year-old. It's not about like, it's not about showing, oh, look what I can do, but rather, here is a present to you. I can give you this experience that I had the first time I experienced magic.
Yeah, of course. But when you were strolling around in that store, did you feel you want to do magic again?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I really like, this may sound narcissistic, but I really wanted to take this 15-year-old guy under my like wing. So we're actually meeting on Sunday, this Sunday again, I think at his place, and I'm going to show him some magic and just like give him I'm going to try to like give him some confidence, because he's really into like a lot of techniques and flourishes and stuff like that. But I wanna like just teach him one trick and make him do that awesome, and like get really good at the presentation and so on.
It's good you're not a pedophile though.
I'm not sure about the age here in Australia.
Actually, I worked and did magic for the first time in years just this weekend.
Oh yeah,
because I got hired for a TV production, not for what I usually do as a director or producer. I was hired for a gala. It's a sports gala.
Yeah, sports
athletes and sports getting prizes for their performance the past year.
Yeah.
And we had some Mando Diao, a band that have done the theme for ski World Cup in Falun this year.
Mm-hmm.
They've done the theme song, and they have a girl named Maxida singing on there with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I got hired as a magic consultant was my title.
Oh, no way.
So I taught her to make it snow from the skies in all of the arena.
Wow.
So that was awesome. And I also felt that doing this and doing the special effects and not being the guy on stage, but being the man behind the magic.
Yeah.
That is awesome, and I want to do more of that.
Yeah. I think you're a bit like, for Darren Brown, you're the Andy Nyman.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, or like all of these, all great magicians have greater magicians behind them. It's like all presidents have greater women behind them or whatever. But
exactly, and that is, I don't want to be the monkey on the string, but I want to be the puppeteer. As I said, I'm already out of Sweden in my mental state. I'm going to Bad Gastein in Austria in two days.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be awesome. I'm going with my girlfriend, and we're meeting up her mother there. So that's gonna be weird. First time with her parents skiing for a week.
But wait, have you never met? Have you never met her?
No, I've never met her parents. She's met my whole family, both dad and mom and stepmom and sisters and brothers and stuff like that. But I've never met anyone of hers. So that's gonna be fun.
All right.
So
cool.
We might hate each other after this week.
Yeah, I mean,
no, I don't think.
I mean, statistically, that relationship isn't the best.
It isn't the best place to start a relationship with
being isolated in
with the mother-in-law.
Mountains. Yeah,
exactly. But I think it will be okay.
Yeah,
and I'm looking forward to ski some POW with myself. I don't know, because they don't want to ski powder snow and they don't want to go off piste. So I just need a shout out to the seasoners there and all the people that I'm going to meet when I get down there.
Yeah,
to take me on the good rides and the good lines.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I'm not really jealous I don't really envy you going skiing in the snowy and ice cold and all of that, as I've just arrived to the sunny beaches. But on the other hand, I do envy the feeling I can imagine that you will have on your first ride on the sunny day, and just standing on the top of that slope. I mean, that feeling.
And I've been absent from the skiing for 2 years, so I have so much to. I just wanna shred it.
Yeah. Wow.
and that's going to be so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And so next time we speak to each other, I will be in the snowy mountains and you will be on the sunny beaches in Sydney.
That sounds like contrasts I like. All right, so with that said, I mean, for our new listeners in our regular Swedish podcasts, we always end up the episodes with saying a very Swedish phrase, which is like basically just together we say puss, which is kisses. And because I still want to keep the Swedish soul in this podcast, I at least think we should keep puss.
Of course we do.
And so if you meet me in town and you say goodbye to me after we've met here in Australia, just say puss, because it's a nice way to...
And then we know you've listened to this.
Yeah, exactly.
And for all our old listeners and our new too, for talking to us, it's hashtag 150 kilo. Spelled out, so it's 150 KILO.
Exactly.
So and for speaking to me on Twitter and Instagram, it's at Falken31, and for Magnus it's at Sigler Magnus.
Precisely.
So write to us and tell us what you think about this English-speaking episode.
Yeah.
And the podcast overall. Yeah, I think we're gonna end this episode with the song Down Under from Men at Work. I think that's appropriate. So let's talk to you next week, and have a great one until then.
All right.
Traveling in a freighter combi,